episodes work best if you put your phone on your nightstand. I don't know. As you relax at the end of the day and wind down, it might be good to think about your money. Because I know you're busy. You've got things going on. Relax. I know some of you have told me in the comments that you like to listen to these episodes while you're at work. What's up with that? Like you put in your earbuds and you listen to me ramble about money. Hey, that's awesome. I actually think that's pretty cool. Hopefully you're enjoying these episodes where I'm talking about my journey from broke to brilliant to financial independence, and I am so proud of all of you for everything that you guys do as it relates to money, that you have awareness, right? Because I know all of you are out there. Remember, that's my debt detector. I can detect debt from a mile away. And I know some of you may be waking up to the fact that you have debt. I know. But hopefully you will turn that around and you'll start to see that you should pay that debt down. Listen to Dave Ramsey and all these people that talk about how you can reduce your debt. Then you can segue into saving and investing. And as I always talk about, I think our goal should always be to try to get to a place in our lifetimes where we have attained what I like to call our personal best. Because let's face it, you can only do as good as you can do. We can't do any better than we can do. I mean, we can always strive to do better, but as long as we do what we need to do in the year that we're in, how can you look back over your life and say that it was a financial mistake if you are always striving to be better with money? And you guys know we don't know what the stock market will do. Who cares? We can only control what we can control. And by the way, remember last time I had this trigger. I was going to say cash, but that is cash anyway. Maybe they'll deposit into your checking account and then you can put in your Roth IRA. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's move on to this episode 37. We're talking through 2015 and what that was like for me when I was 49 years old. You know, on episode 38, of course, I'm going to show you the money. And I'm going to show you how much. I should dance when I do that. Show you the money. Okay, maybe not. And I'll show you how much I had at the end of 2015. I'll also show you, as you know, what my portfolio gained or lost in the year of 2015. But I remember thinking, as I talked about last time, that my condo redesigns was going to really help me stay motivated to stay put in terms of where I lived, because I knew that I couldn't always, or didn't want to always move, and even if I could make money by flipping homes, it just wasn't something that I was interested in. And so, as you know, one of the rules of personal finance is to listen to your gut. Listen to your heart. If it tells you not to do something, then don't do it. Listen to yourself, because only you know what is best for you and your money. So, my condo redesigns then, just to recap from last time, was a way again for me to stay put, but also to make me feel good about the space that I was in, if that makes sense. And so today in this episode, I wanted to share with you how I moved during this time frame from what I like to call a fantasy to a reality-based mindset. But before I talk a little bit about that, you know, again in 2015 I was 49 years old, and I knew that I was about to turn the big 5-0. Okay. So I turned the big 4-0, 40 years old, and I was broke. And I was about to turn 50 years old, and now I had about $500,000 in saving and investing. I mean, that's something to celebrate. It took me 10 years to get from zero to $500,000. So just to put that into perspective, right? Now you guys know that that took a lot of my own money going into those investments because I started so late. You guys are going to start early, right? So that you can put less of your money in, and a lot of it will be gains in the market and the compounding effect of such. But I knew that I could then take advantage of catch-up contributions once I got to age 50. I was still paying off my mortgage. Remember, I refinanced it to 3.25%. I think it was. Yeah, 3. Was it 3.5? No, 3.25%. After being on the Susie Orman show, as you know, in 2012, I refinanced. So I was in my third year of paying a 15-year mortgage. You know, still just clipping along, like people do, you know, with a mortgage. And I decided, yeah, maybe I don't need to pay it off. That's fine. I was continuing to save into these buckets. I was living my life. I was happy. I wasn't thinking about money all the time. Just because I'm on a show talking about money with you doesn't mean I'm always talking about money, and I don't want you guys to always talk about it either. previous episodes. I'm beginning to forget because I talk so much. These episodes now are becoming like a manifestation of my subconscious, just like me talking through my experiences. So I may have shared with you that when I was younger, I really lived in more of a fantasy-based mindset. I was spending money like crazy. I didn't even know what I was doing. That's a fantasy, right? And you guys may feel the same, and I hope that you, like I did, can shift to a more reality-based mindset. You have to force yourself. Remember, we've talked about the handcuffs that you have if you have debt. You have to force yourself to say, I don't accept this anymore. I want something better for myself. And in 2015, I remember I really started to become much more reality-based because I was starting to see that I was moving the pendulum in the right direction. I was almost to $500,000 in investments and savings. I remember thinking that, wow, Evan, you really did that. Coming from a background of, me not having good jobs out of college and living paycheck to paycheck for 11 years, to suddenly look back over some years and know that I had created this engine of $500,000. I have to be honest with you guys, I was elated. Just like I want you guys to be elated with every step of the way. You may have a negative net worth right now. That's okay. You may have $100,000. Great. You may have $50,000. I don't know where you are. You might be just starting out like me. But listen, if you continue to apply yourself, if you continue to make the right choices, and I'm talking about seriously making the right choices, especially if you are older like I was. The older you get, the fewer mistakes you can make, because you don't have the time to make up for those mistakes, especially if the mistake that you made was like a really big financial one. Like if you bought a house that you just really can't afford, and now you're pushing 50 years old, and then you suddenly wake up and say, what have I done? There's not much time to recoup the damage that you created for yourself to move forward. Am I making sense? I hope so. So, I remember in 2015, I really solidified my mindset of how to be reality-based, and I wish I could tell you how I did it. I'm not real sure. I just know that I was aware. And as we talk about all the time, awareness is a lot of the issue. I mean, think about it right now, you guys. Think about your friends. Think about some friends, family members maybe that you have, that you know deep down that even though they look really great and they have big homes and expensive cars, you know deep down that they may have a big income, but they're probably spending it all. And that's not where I want you guys to end up when you get to my age. When you get into your mid-50s, I'm 58 years old right now, for those of you that don't know. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm so thankful that you guys are here. And you may have seen me do this before, but thank you so much. A heartfelt thank you for you guys being with me and hitting that subscribe button, because it really means so much to me that I'm able to connect with these years, and if it brings you some type of enjoyment and or knowledge, then my job is done. But I don't want you to end up like some of your family members and some of your friends where you wake up at 50. I want you to wake up like right now, and the fact that you're tuning into these episodes tells me that you are awake and you're going to be just fine. You're going to continue to do well with money. And so, in wrapping up today's episode, I want all of you to move, if you're in a fantasy-based mindset, to really force yourself to be reality-based and say right now to yourself, I need to pay off this debt. Or maybe you need to sell your home and buy a less expensive home. Maybe you need to sell your car and buy a less expensive car. Maybe you need to cancel that expensive vacation that you were going to take. Unless, as you know, I always say, experiences are something you should pay for. Just make sure it's in your budget and you really can afford it, because, you know, we say all the time, oh, I can afford this or I can afford that. Not when you really look at the numbers. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today is do your best to become reality-based, but never forget the fantasy. The fantasy is a part of all of us. Just like these episodes that I'm creating for you in this type of environment with ASMR. It's kind of like a fantasy. I'm helping you, hopefully, to sleep well at night because you're thinking about money. And hopefully, of course, you're learning a lot of things as we go throughout this journey